3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. 3 times over, boy.
Wake up, thank God, kiss my wife, hug my dog, and get great love. In this life, I'm confident and I stand tall. Check for customers, missed calls, head to the bathroom stall. Mirror, mirror that's on the wall, don't say a thing, just let me ball. Today's the day that I want it all, no hesitation, no pause or stall. Made my meditation on money making, exceed beyond the thoughts of the lost. Through the dedication of education, I see the secret financial laws. Boy, I'm in the matrix and it feel contagious. This is inclinations of a real life boss. I manifested my thoughts, I plan invested in bought. I stand erected and taught, directed methods that lost. With introspective impulse, I corrected imminent loss. It was meant effective in cost. Man, I make assessments in golf with many lessons business had brought. Every single blessing that I came across was finessed with the message that the game taught. Gotta be the best or get lost, so you end up in a mess, so stressed and pissed off. If you pass the test, then destiny costs me to go ahead and flex the best that you floss, and that's that. Green mask, green gloves, green hat, green truck, green grass, green bucks, green stacks, green duck. Green mask, green gloves, green hat, green trucks, green down, green dove. You can call me the green plug. Green mask, green gloves, green hat, green trucks, green grass, green bucks, green stacks, green duck, green backs, green gloves, green mask, green glove, green down, green dove. You can call me the green plug.
Welcome to South City, St. Louis.
What's up, bro? Welcome back to the channel. This is Larry with ljjlawncare, and we are back again with another one. You already know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 6 p.m. Tune in, and if you like these videos, hit that like button and do me a favor. Every single time you press that thumbnail to watch the video, watch it to the end. Thank you. It helps a lot. Thank you. What's up, y'all, man? Dude, it's been a hot, crazy week. Period. It is June, bro. We in June. This is when all the crazy customers come out the woodworks. Those who had waited all the way to June and don't know, either they don't know proper lawn care etiquette, and that's to take the one first time service, not the bi-weekly. You're not finna get started off at the bi-weekly or weekly discounted price. You must take this first time service maintenance mow. Yeah! But they don't want to do that, bro. No, they don't want to do that for some odd reason. People just want to get on the regular bi-weekly schedule mow, you know, and it is what it is. That's what comes with the game. It's June, baby. You know, you finna start getting them calls. If you haven't gotten them calls, you're gonna get people that's running up on you with money in their hand, like, please, here, cut my grass. It's getting crazy, bro. There was a lady, I got 2 stories for y'all, bro. Watch the video to the end. Like I said, this is some insanity type stuff, man. And if y'all want to hear more or just upgrade on your business metric or how can I say, knowledge, you can join the membership. There's a little couple of perks that come with the membership. But anyway, bro, so let me tell y'all what transpired, right? There was a lady, I'm cutting the grass, right? I'm cutting the yard. I'm gonna say the best story for last. I'm cutting the yard, man, in this 98-degree temperature, like it's natural. Bro, ain't nothing natural about us out here mowing in 98 degrees, but that's the temperature all this week. What you gonna do? You gonna skip? Nah, bro. It's gonna be hot again next week. Gotta keep going. But anyway, I'm mowing the yard of a regular customer. This lady, after I'm mowing the yard, I'm suited up, booted up. Y'all know what I wear. I wear a lot of stuff in this 98 degree weather, and I got the mask on. I got my towel on my head. You know, I'm looking like a straight up ninja, a real ninja. So at this point, I'm done mowing. I'm about to wrap this up. She walks up to me. It's the next door neighbor, bro. Next door freaking neighbor, and that's fine. That's all good. I'm like, hey, what's up? I do not assume that people stop me to ask to join the schedule. I used to be like, oh, you wanna join? Nah, none of that stuff happens no more. I mean, somebody stop me, it's more like, what's up? I'm trying to get up out this heat. So the lady says, hi, I was wondering how much would it be to cut my front yard? I said, well, do you want mowing or blowing? Mowing and blowing, or do you want mowing, string trimming, and blowing? Guess what she said? I gave out that option, bro. Mowing and blowing. That's what she said, bro. I must be real. I'm actually more, it increases my potential to get more customers by presenting options. I'm just since this been going on, bro, I'm just being honest. The bottom line gonna always stay the same. I'm still gonna make $50 or more. I'm just keeping it real with you. But anyway, she said mowing and blowing. I said, okay. And then she started saying, do you offer monthly services? How often are you here? I said, I am here bi-weekly. I said, I do not offer monthly services. It's either weekly or bi-weekly. So then she gets to talking about how, you know, oh, well, she's looking for a monthly service. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And she says, well, that bi-weekly wouldn't be so bad. She said, all right, so this is what she did right here, bro. This is what she did now. She wants the mow and blow. So I walk the front yard. It ain't that big, bro, but it don't matter what size it is at this point. I'm just look at it like this. If I service your property, you finna come out of $50, bro, or more. I'm just keeping it real. I don't care about no $20, no $30, no $40, no $45, none of that, bro. I'm just keeping it 100% real. My equipment is running in this heat. I'm hot, the labor, everything, bro. All this stuff counts. I get it now. I truly get, bro. At first, listen, I always knew my worth, but now I know my worth even more, bro. Because, bro, we out here in this heat. But anyway, you got to think about it. When you cutting grass, think about it, man. When you cutting grass, think about what I'm talking about. But anyway, she says, okay, how much will it be? I said, all right. I walked it, said, just for a mow and blow. She said, yeah. I said, 55 bi-weekly. And she said, 55 bi-weekly? She said, I can't afford that. She said, I was thinking more of $20. I said, $20, I can't afford that. I said, I can't even come close to affording that. I said, you see this equipment right here? This equipment costed $10,000 or more. I'm just keeping it real. I was starting to point to each part on the equipment. I said, this alone is more, $7,000. $7,000 after taxes, $8,000. Plus the Suki is $5,000. I was gonna start doing it $5,000. Just break it down to be very detailed for her to understand that $20 ain't gonna cut it. Literally, you're not gonna get your grass cut for $20 up here. Yeah, she said I can't afford that, bro. I said I can't afford to cut your grass. I started laughing a little bit because she said your mask and everything. Before all this, she said your mask and your thing and everything, it makes you look you look hot and you look like a ninja or something. Like, I said, so I took down the mask and everything. I'm like, yeah. She said 20, bro. I said, oh, okay, I can't afford that. And instantly start walking on off. You know, she said, oh, okay, well, if I ever need something, I'm gonna let you know. I said, all right. Yeah, all right, $50. Let me know. I'm a businessman. If you need your yard cut for $50, I will be there. But other than that, no way, Jose. Not today. Not in these days, bro. Not this Larry with the LJJ lawn care. But anyway, That was one down, bro. That's one customer. Let me tell you about this other customer. Now stay with me on this, bro. Cause this, I'm gonna try not to be convoluted on this story as much as I can. You know, I'm gonna try to tell y'all this situation the best way I can. And this is crazy, bro. So before I tell you the story, I'm just gonna tell you the basis of it is that she wasted my time. The lady, she had me out there in the sun for about 8 minutes, jibber jabbing off at the mouth, talking about stuff, you know, her woes and all that stuff, and how she want her yard cut for $20 monthly. You know, no, bro. I don't care, bro. I don't care. It's next door. I don't care. Look, let me give y'all a little hint on something, bro. Johnny with Blades of Grass, I remember before I even started lawn care, I was just watching his video. He said that he had cut a neighbor for he was cutting this property for like $45 bi-weekly, right? Then he started cutting the neighbor. The neighbor wanted to join. I guess he said, I'll cut yours for 40 because he wanted that route density. He wanted that property. Next thing you know, the main customer called and said, hey, I see that you cutting my neighbor for 40. I would like that cut for 40. Lesson learned. Thank you, Johnny with Blades of Grass. I appreciate that information. Never did it. Anybody that joined the schedule, you could be next door. It don't matter, bro. Y'all, it could be partial. You can be at the same building. I cut this side, you want that side cut. That's everything is gonna be double, bro. 50 for you, 50 for you, or 55 for you, 55 for you. Anyway, so that's why I make it like that, bro. That's why I did what I did. Cause to get the route density or whatever, I probably would have said, nah, I would have said 50. I said 55, I would have said 50 just to get the route density, bro. Straight up. The neighbor I'm cutting the front and the back for 60. For her front, I'd have said 50. Plain and simple. But anyway, I don't care about route. I don't care about none of that stuff. I just try to get that bread, bro. I'm about money, profits. But anyway, so the second situation, bro, let me tell you what happened. She wasted my time. So I'm at the store about to hop in the Guap Glider 3000, the Trizup, about to head on back to the Crisnip. Next thing I know, hey, I'm like, whoa, and I see a lady at the bus stop. I'm like, oh my gosh, not today. You know, first thing, because when I'm out here, the women like to flirt. They like to start conversations, and they see me. I'm a lawn care provider, so they like to talk about yards and grass and their grass and their issues, and they want to try to shoot their shots. It ain't got nothing to do. A lot of times it don't have nothing to do with lawn care, but I'm just like, okay, what's up? Oh, hey, I need my grass cut. I said, oh, okay, is your property in South City, St. Louis? She at the bus stop. She said, yeah, it's in South City. I said, okay, good. Take my number, take a picture of the truck or whatever. Take my number. She said, do you have a card? So I'm like, yeah, I got a card. I haven't pulled out a card in a long time, bro. So I got a box of cards up in this piece, but I was up in here scraping and scrambling, you know, trying to get a card. And then I found a card. And I found my box of cards, and I gave her a card. So then after that, she looked at it, and she had said, oh, okay. And she said, when can you check it out? I'm like, what? I'm like, just text me. And I said, there go your bus. Then she was like, oh, okay. And then, you know what I'm saying, she was finna miss her bus talking to me like, girl, catch your bus and go on back to the crib. Get up out this heat. People don't care about this heat out in these streets. I don't understand it. But anyway, so I get a text message asking me, can I come and give a quote? I met you at the bus stop. I said, oh, okay. So I remember her. I'm like, all right, cool. So I sent out the pre-quote, the pre-qualification list. It tells you our prices. It tells you what we do and what we don't do, what we expect and how we move. Plain and simple. It's just a list of qualifications. Do you meet this list of qualifications or not? If you do, cool. If you don't, skedaddle. You're out of there. Don't worry about no free quote. It's over with. So anyway, I gave her the card. She called me. The text message went through. I sent her the pre-quote Friday. She contacts me Wednesday, bro. I'm like, okay. She calls me. After I sent the pre-quote Friday, she calls me Wednesday. And she said, hello, I'm looking for some lawn care services. I said, oh, okay, that's cool. And she said, I had met you at the bus stop. I said, oh, okay, right. I know who you are at the bus stop. I said, didn't I? I said, I sent you out a text message, a pre-quote to tell you how much we pay for, how much our prices are and things like that, and just answer the questions. I'm gonna get back with you at my soonest convenience. That's why I say I get back at them at my soonest convenience, because I'm pretty much full, bro. I'm pretty much full. So if you calling me, you contacting a lawn care provider in June. You know what I'm saying? We started back in March. People are full right now. Like, seriously, like people don't even understand. Hey, people don't understand that we get full fast. So I'm almost full, like straight up. And I'm very picky anyway from the beginning. If I wasn't full, I'm still picky. I'm picky on steroids, bro. So anyway, she says, yeah, I got that text message, but I read it and I really didn't understand it. Like, is your prices the same on your what's it called? On the card is saying one price, and then on that text message is saying another price. I said, ma'am, that card is so old. I said, that card is that card that I gave you, even though it was in good condition and everything, that card is 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old. Yeah, it said $40 weekly, $45 bi-weekly, which is the dumbest thing anyway, bro. Look, if you cutting bi-weekly regardless, you got to look at it like I'm cutting this week and the last week's cut, like straight up. I had just read a thread, somebody saying that. I'm like, yeah, I would charge more. Bi-weeklies need to be more, or the same price as your weekly, meaning that, but it got to be high regardless. You get what I'm saying? If look, like a lot of my bi-weeklies is $60. If a customer decides to go weekly, it's gonna be $60. Yeah, it ain't gonna go down. It stays the same. There's no type of discounts up in this piece. But anyway, so back to her. Okay, so bro, let me go ahead and get to the point. Like I said, I'm trying not to be convoluted, but she says, what'd she say? She says, yeah, your prices are not. I said, no, that's 2 years old. That card is 2 to 3 years old, man. My prices is what I text you. Then she said, okay. She said, well, I need my grass cut. When can you come over to cut it? I said, well, if you read the text message, you'll know that I'm borderline full to capacity. And I said that I'll get back with you at my. I said, what you're supposed to do is fill out the information, and I will get back with you at my soonest convenience. Then she says, what'd she say? Well, I had someone come over and they looked at it and they left. I want to know if your mower can fit on the property. I said, okay, first of all, somebody came out to your property and left, so that's telling me, how tall is your grass? She said, it's pretty tall, it's up there. I said, okay. There has been times when I done went by people properties, looked at it, and had left. I said, some lawn care providers won't take everything. You get what I'm saying? But I mean, they just can't, you know, they might be too full to squeeze in a grass cleanup. They can even charge you for it, but they just can't, they don't have time to do it. It's the summertime and they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off. So then she said, so it's no guarantee that you won't be able to look at it. I said, well, she said, well, when can you go and see it? When can you come and look at it? I said, all right. I said, well, I should be able to look at it probably Friday, Thursday or Friday. It depends on how this weather goes. You know, it rained today and stuff. And then she was like, she said Friday. Okay, I'm supposed to have some people come over. Now, mind you, this is all on the phone, bro. I just hopped in the car from cutting the yard and I'm kind of cooling down and I'm just like, my goodness, trying to get this over with. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get this over with. The day. So anyway, she said, so you have, she said, so you said at your soonest convenience, so Friday? I said, yeah, Friday. It could be Friday. It could be Saturday. I said, but it's not going to be today. Then she said, yeah, I'm supposed to have somebody come over today to look at it, and they're going to already see the damage from the grass being over the ground. I'm like, okay, yeah. I said, listen, she said, I want to know if your mower can fit on the property. I'm like, oh my gosh, is she serious right now? Now she want to know if the mower would fit on the property. I said, hey, I said, ma'am, do you have any gates? What's your side gates? I'm trying to get to the point. I'm like, man, I might as well ask her these questions so I can know if she even qualifies, so I can get her on out my way. She says, yeah, I have a gate. I mean, she said, I don't have a gate. She said, I have a garage. She said, matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest with you. My garage burnt down. I'm like, what? She said, yeah. She said, mysteriously, my garage burnt down. I'm like, was that a lawn care provider? Because how anytime something weird transpire with me and they tell in a potential client tells me about how some type of damage transpired on their property, I think about, was that a lawn care provider? But yeah, because this is starting to get crazy. All you have to do is fill out these questions and we've been done with the situation. So anyway, she said her garage has been burnt down mysteriously. I'm like, okay, all right. I said, oh, okay, well, so that means it's open access. I should be able to get my mower up there. Do you have a hill? No, I have flat land. I'm like, okay. So this is starting to sound like this might work. Then I said, all right, ma'am, so what's your what she said? I said, so what's your address? Like, all you have to do is fill out the information. What's the she said that, well, it doesn't make sense for me to give you my address if you're not gonna come check it out, if you might not take the property anyway. I said, huh? I said, listen, and now I'm trying to help her. I'm like, dang, this woman needs some help. I say, listen, if you give me your address, then you will be able to win either way. Either way, like, you can have other people to come out. I'm just trying to look at the property for you so you can know what I would charge or whatever. You're gonna win. She said, yeah, but see, this the thing. I've been harassed. I'm like, oh, okay, let me get up. All right. I said, oh, okay, don't worry about it. And she was like, no, listen, it's not you. It's just that. And then she started going off about a story that I just opt out, bro. That's when you zone out. I'm just trying to get off the phone at this point. I don't want to hear nothing else, man. I'm like, this is it right here. So you have me sitting up here on this phone for no reason. You asking for help, but you don't want to get help. So now my advice is going to be the real reality of life. So I would tell her, I didn't tell her this, but I'm thinking in my mind, I should have told her, well, ma'am, this is what you should do. Go outside and sit on your front porch and just close your eyes and listen. Just listen. And once you hear a mower working, know that you need to get up and follow that sound. Go to that lawn care provider and ask them with money in your hand, Just have $200 in your hand. Be like, hey, can you cut my grass for me? And see what this person to do. It could be a regular average Joe. It could be somebody that got a business or somebody that's just cutting grass. You know, somebody might take your offer. That's why I wanted to tell her at this point. But instead, I'm like, all right. I said, thank you for the inquiry. And then she said, huh? I said, thank you. Thank you for the call. Like, I'm letting her know I got to be off the phone. I got to get off this phone. And she was paused for a second. And she said, oh, okay. Thank you. I'm like, all right. Click. Like, oh my gosh, bro. That's what's cracking now in June. But anyway, y'all, this is Larry Johnson Jr. with LJJ Lawn Care. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit them buttons, and share. Thank y'all, man. Shout out to all y'all that be in the comments, bro. Drop a good comment below. You already know I'm gonna make a video about it. I'm holler at you in a minute. Peace. Crazy how I came up in this game and then I ran amok. It's Larry Johnson Jr., LJJ Lawn Care, all on them trucks. I stand insanely on it, bro. I love to gain a customer. I mainly maintain what I must. I earn their trust off of the bucks. I'm blessing them with beauty cuts and placing them on YouTube, cause I'm trying to get subscriptions up. I'm driven by ambition, bro. I'm all about integrity. You should never compare to me unless you wanna see how deep your insecurity can be. I'm rolling solo in these streets and all I know is to live free. I'm full of peace, but when it comes to lawn care, boy, I am a beast. I never leave until it's clean. I get them weeds and everything. I throw some seeds and motion leaves and trim them trees and charge them fees. And yes, I am the king of string. I said exactly what I mean. You see the way I do my thing. Them edges squared and crispy clean. Then if you haven't did it yet, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And best believe that LJJ Lawn Care is gonna be right there.